Good morning to everyone who is watching my YouTube channel. I'm back with another verse of the day for everyone. Today I was reading in Exodus chapters 13 to 19. Yeah, 13 to 19 I read today. And I was reading the story in which the Amalekites attack Israel. And Moses sends Joshua to lead the people of Israel against the Amalekites in Exodus chapter 17. Directly after the miracle where God tells Moses to take his rod and beat the rock to make water come out of it for the people of Israel. Directly after that story is written here in Exodus chapter 17 the story of Amalek's attack on against the children of Israel. And Moses told Joshua to lead the army into battle against Amalek to protect the children of Israel. Moses sent Joshua to go do that because Joshua was, I believe, at this point already Moses' student in many ways, because later we see him already following Moses around, learning with Moses about leading the people, and right here, one of his first tasks in leading the people of Israel. Joshua took the men out against Amalek and started to fight them. And so Moses and Aaron and Hur go up to the mountain, go up to a mountain or to some sort of a cliff, some elevated place to watch the battle. And not just watch the battle, because the verses 10 to 12 of Exodus chapter 17 reveal that the position of Moses' arms would bless or curse the battle that was happening down there. God would bless or curse the battle depending on how high Moses' hands were lifted. It says that when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. So Moses was standing there with his arms up in the air like this so that Joshua would prevail, so that the children of Israel would prevail. But, as we all know, holding your arms like this makes him tired. And Moses, as the verses say, Moses' arms got tired and he had to let them down. So, Aaron and Hur were standing nearby and saw that Moses was getting tired, so they got him a rock, put it there for him to sit down. And not only did they give him a place to sit, but they held his arms up so that the battle would continue to be blessed by God, and so that Joshua and the people of Israel would win that battle against the Amalekites. And we hear a lot of stories about Moses and Aaron, but this man Hur is one that we don't hear much about. We don't hear much about him, and many people don't know much about his story, aside from this particular story. This particular story is a bit more well known. But I did some quick research on this man Hur because I thought it was very interesting. I like to look up these lesser known characters of the Bible many times to see where else they're found in the Bible. And I found out this man Hur is actually Caleb's son. This man Hur is Caleb's son, and Caleb, as we all know, is the man who later, when the children of Israel were at the door to the promised land, that Caleb and Joshua were the only two spies out of the 12 that were sent in who actually believed in God and believed that God would bless their conquering the promised land, the land of Canaan. So Hur is the son of the faithful man Caleb. And not only is Hur the son of the faithful man Caleb, Hur himself was very faithful, as we see in this passage, helping Moses. I don't know if he was Moses' right-hand man or not. Right-hand man I don't know if he was Moses' right hand man or not, but he definitely was a faithful man in helping Moses. Not only that, later when we see them at Mount Sinai, the children of Israel at Mount Sinai, Hur appears yet again along with Aaron as the two men that Moses left to lead the people of Israel, while he and Joshua went up to Mount Sinai to receive the law from God. And later still, we find out that the faithfulness of Caleb and the faithfulness of Hur passed down to the next generation. Bezaleel, the man who God called to lead, if I recall correctly, lead the work of constructing the tabernacle as God told them to do at Mount Sinai. Bezaleel is the grandson of Hur and the great-grandson of Caleb. So we see how the faithfulness of the fathers will many times inspire their children to be faithful as well. And I think this is so interesting. Caleb was a faithful man. Hur was a faithful man. Caleb was a faithful man. Hur was a faithful man. We don't know much about Hur's son, but we see Bezaleel, also a faithful man that God filled with the Holy Spirit to be able to lead the work of constructing the tabernacle. Where are the men like Hur? Where are they? Men who will be their pastor's right-hand man. We can make a comparison here between Moses and a pastor. A pastor is leading the children of God, literally, is leading the children of God in the church, and he needs men who are like Hur, who will help him and support him, keep an eye on what he needs to get the ministry done, to do what he needs to do to lead the church. And not only support their pastor, and not only men who will support their pastor, but who will inspire their children to do the same, to be faithful to God and serve, helping their pastor, helping their leader. Where are men like Hur? Men who will support and hold up the hands of their pastor, like Hur held up Moses' hands in this passage in Exodus 17.